The people have spoken and you might want to buckle up because this is gonna be interesting. You see, Nike recently unveiled the GT Cut 4 and the people are divided mainly over two things: the shoe's design and more importantly its price. In a previous video I said that it doesn't make sense for Nike to release a $200 shoe designed for young hoopers because that is a steep price if you're still in school. But if you think about it, Nike is actually selling the idea to those who are young at heart, but there's more. You see, I have been writing sneaker stories and posting shoe reviews for more than 10 years, and each time a new shoe is unveiled, people will have their say, both good and not so good, which is perfectly fine. And brands understand this. You just cannot please everyone. But the problem is, sometimes brands use innovation as the catch-all justification for their ridiculous retail prices. And so it's not surprising that you have your own take. In fact, in the previous video I posted, the comments show exactly just that. But there's one comment that stood out from all the rest, and you'd be surprised that it actually has nothing to do with the shoe. I'll tell you more about it, so let's have a quick conversation. I'm gonna start with what people are mostly saying about the design. For example, David appreciates how Nike is finally investing on design innovation. He says that the shoe looks nice and intriguing, and he's hoping that it's not unstable like the GT Cut 3. That's what the dog probably wanted to say with the fire, fire, fire emojis, but who knows. Others think that Nike is tracing its roots. Kong, for example, says that he thinks Nike is trying to recapture its design dominance in the early 2000s with how its recent lineup of shoes has been designed. He says that the GT Cut 4 is not for everyone, which for him is okay, and I actually agree. Storage also agrees and adds that he's seeing a bit of Adidas design inspiration. Charles Sacramento gives Tracy McGrady's shoes as an example. Now listen to this. MMC says that the GT Cut 4 has an ugly design despite its higher price. Storage responds by saying that the shoe is alright, although it looks like a shark, and just wants people to say that they cannot afford it. And I think it's fine because we all have different budgets. For example, PH Jerome says that he likes the look of the shoe and that it reminds him of the shoes that came out in 2000s, but he will wait for the price to come down before getting a pair. That's one good way of saying it. Now here's what others have to say. These comments have actually little to do with the Nike GT Cut 4, but they're interesting in some ways. For example, Kirk says that he saw a leak on TikTok about the Peak Tai Chi X and he's asking about more information about the shoe. I've actually seen photos of the shoe about a month ago and I'll talk about it in a separate video, so stay tuned. Now, here's the comment that to me stands out from all the rest. The Z Magician wonders if I have made horror videos before because he says I have the perfect voice for it. My man Joe Castro responded with the crying emoji, but no, I have not tried doing voiceovers for horror videos before, but now that you've mentioned it, I could probably give it a try. Thanks for the suggestion, my man. But going back, there's this other aspect of the shoe that has people fired up. It's about the price, and I think it's a fair point to talk about it. After all, the price of any given shoe is a statement in itself because a high price is a method to position a shoe and in a way to condition people's minds, so let's hear it. This one reminded me of recent events. NexLG says that the target market for the GT Cut 4 are the Nepo babies, and Storage adds that it's the same for every Nike flagship shoe, which is a timely comment if you're in the Philippines because where I am, we have this massive corruption issue that just exploded in the last few months, but that's another story. A $200 shoe may be for Nepo babies, but I guess it's more of a euphemism. Taylor Milton has another take. Taylor says that the GT Cut 4 is out of touch for the common people. However, its Jazz says that it's the very reason why there are takedown models such as the GT Cut Academy that are budget friendly. In a separate comment, its Jazz says that parents are the ones who will actually pay for the $200 Nike GT Cut 4 based on his experience, and I agree. Ultimately, he says that the potential performance of the GT Cut 4 is worth the $200 price tag. And since we're on the subject of price, you're probably thinking about the cushioning and if it's worth it. Sam Smith Jack, for example, asks if the shoe has a drop-in midsole. There is, and the way it's set up, it seems stacked with multiple foam materials, and we're yet to see how it actually feels, but experience tells me it's gonna be a responsive ride, except this time it's a responsive ride priced at $200. Whether you think the Nike GT Cut 4 is worth the price tag or not, one thing is clear. Nike did not hold back this time with the foam cushioning setup and consequently the retail price. The price alone is a statement. It's designed primarily for those who are willing to part ways with their money for a cushioning experience, even if those same people can also get a similar experience from a cheaper shoe, but I guess they are not ready for that conversation. But eventually though, I'm anticipating that the GT Cut 4 will eventually go on discounted prices, and it's gonna be great news for you if you're willing to wait it out. Patience is a virtue, as they say, so unless you're a nepo baby who cannot wait any longer, I suggest to wait it out or maybe just look for other options. But let me know what you think. Hey man, thanks for watching. You can support me and my cats by joining my channel membership. Thanks, and I hope to see you on the next one.